All right, so tell me, at the end of the day, this is it's Boston Wealth Builders, not Boston Income Builders, right?
Yeah.
So, being a condo developer, you're making money, right? But I would argue that it's not a wealth building strategy, right? It's a job that you've created for yourself. It's a great job. It's it could be a high paying job. It's fun. You get to
Not
rehab
stuck at a
things,
desk
and
all day,
you're not
yeah.
stuck at a desk. You're always doing something different. I guess my question to you would be is, what are you doing for the long term? Are you investing in rentals? Is there a wealth building strategy out there
It's a great question.
outside of the condo play?
Absolutely. I mean, being a rehabber, being a developer, you know as well, it's a job.
Right.
And it's a job that it doesn't. If the day ends in Y, you're working.
Right, right.
It's not a 9 to 5. It's a pretty much from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, and it's 7 days a week. So it's like you said, being a business owner is great, but unless you start building out because as a wealth building strategy, you want to be a business owner, you want to be an investor. So owning the business is great as long as you scale. And your true test, is if you were to be absent and you took a leave of absence, would your business still run without you?
Right.
That's if it can't, then you're self-employed. You're not a business owner. You can't step away from the business and do other things.
So running a business versus owning a business, two different
so,
things, right?
Yeah. So right now, I mean, our development stuff, we're in a pretty good spot. Our partnerships are strong. And, if I were to leave for a month, everything would pretty much continue to run.
Gotcha.
Which would be great. But that's, like you said, that's one piece of it. And as we try to grow that, the other piece of it is the investment part, and that's really where we try to build wealth. So it's for us in this business, it's two-stage. So we try to put ourselves and we align ourselves with our investors, because we know that if we can help them build their wealth, we'll grow ours right beside them.
Gotcha.
So looking for us, it is about cash flow. It's long term. The development stuff where you're selling off condos, it's fun and all, but it's you're only as good as your last project.
Right.
So you're always on that wheel. So for us, we're trying to diversify into more cash flow, finding larger assets, either in state, out of state, out of market. I just spent 4 days down in Tampa. That was my second time down there this quarter, looking at that market, looking at its growth, looking at what's happening down there, and looking at assets that are kind of coming on the market, and see what are good opportunities for our investors to park money and to build wealth in a long-term strategy, but to be able to achieve the types of returns that you're not going to get on a consistent basis out of the stock market.
Right.
So as but from an operator's perspective, that's one way that we're trying to do it and be involved in that. But we're taking I'm taking my portion of our returns out of profits like this and investing it in cash flow deals.
Gotcha.
For us, it's we've diversified a little bit. Like my wife and I, we started a solo 401k, which was awesome because we took some of our old money that we had in IRAs and in her old 401k, and we rolled it into a solo 401k. Now we've put it in a number of different projects around the country from operators that we've developed relationships with. So that's one way that we're building our wealth outside of that. Like, I still have a little exposure to the stock market. I recommend everybody does,
Right.
Because it is a great wealth generator if you're doing it correctly. But again, it's about the education. Make sure you know what you're doing and not just flying blind. But I'm a real estate guy,
Right.
through and through. So I like putting my investments into things that I know, and operators that I trust, and strategies that I know are solid in markets that are solid. So following those kind of macro trends, and then getting down into the micro part of it as far as neighborhoods and strategy and what the assets are. So we've invested in over 500 units passively, and we actually diversified into a winery, resort winery
Love
down
it.
in New Jersey. So we're keeping our eyes open for all different sorts of opportunities.
Nice. So